the A&P up here.
Welcome to Freedom Watch Afghanistan. I'm Tech Sergeant Gene Taylor. Al-Qaeda has confirmed the death of a senior commander. According to the Associated Press, Abu Kabab al-Masri, known as a top explosives and poisons expert, and 3 other commanders were confirmed dead in a web statement on Sunday. Al-Masri, an Egyptian militant whose real name is Midhat Mercy, had a $5 million bounty on his head from the United States. He's accused of training terrorists to use poisons and explosives and is believed to have trained suicide bombers who killed 17 American sailors on USS Cole in Yemen in 2000. Coming up on Freedom Watch Afghanistan, we'll show you a Marine who's overcome a disabling injury to keep doing what he loves. Now here's a look at your photos from the field.
Marines from the 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit prepare artillery rounds for firing M777 howitzers on July 23rd in Helmand Province, Afghanistan.
Many wounded troops returning home from Iraq and Afghanistan face a long and difficult road to recovery. But as Marine Sergeant Jeremy Ross reports, if they ever need an example of hope, there's a Marine in southern Afghanistan they can turn to.
Southern Afghanistan may seem an unlikely place to find a top amateur snowboarder training. But it's always been hard to separate Corporal Garrett Jones from the sport he loves.
It's one of those things I saw and knew I wanted to do it. And as soon as I started doing it, I was hooked. And then just continued to do it since 4th grade on. It really is my... I don't enjoy anything more, but I was injured last July, 07.
Jones might refer to the event that caused his hiatus from the sport as an injury. Most everyone else would call it a wound.
This will be my 2nd season as an amputee doing it.
July 2007, Jones was on a foot patrol in Iraq with his squad from 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines, when in an instant, his life changed forever. He was the victim of an improvised explosive device, which claimed his left leg above the knee. Like any other amputee, Jones faced an uphill recovery process. But from the beginning, he was determined to not let his injury prevent him from leading the life he wanted. And so only a month after taking his very first steps, Jones was back out on the slopes.
That very first solid week of snowboarding, actually just due to the constant vibrations and kind of beating up my leg, ended up kind of deadening up some nerves that I was having pain in.
He began the process of trying to stay on active duty. With his injury, he was told he'd have to leave the infantry, and he settled on a move into intelligence. But for Jones, that wasn't enough. He wanted to return to 2-7, and the Marines, he said, saved his life.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Marines that were on patrol with me that day. They took care of me almost immediately. I wanted to be a part of this group of people again. If I wasn't injured, I'd be here anyway.
After a months-long process that put him through the same training as every Marine in the battalion, Jones rejoined his former unit here in southern Afghanistan in late May. Only 10 months had passed since the day he was wounded.
I was able to rapidly heal due to I worked myself out hard physically and going to physical therapy longer than I had to, but I wanted to get out. I wanted to do, I didn't want to be someone that's stuck in the hospital for 1.5 years. And I love what I do. I love being part of the Marine Corps. And for me being here, I just want to show other Marines, like, look, you can still do things. You can still have a positive impact on the Marine Corps and show people that you can make good things, like I said, out of unfortunate circumstances.
Jones is doing his best to stay in shape for upcoming competitions, and he hopes to compete at the Paralympic level someday. And he's equally emphatic about trying to serve a full 20 years on active duty. For a Marine who's refused to let tragedy force him to abandon his sport and his service, it's just one more challenge to stand and meet. Marine Sergeant Jeremy Ross, Camp Barber, Afghanistan.
And that's it for this edition of Freedom Watch Afghanistan. I'm Tech Sergeant Gene Taylor. Have a great day.